Hello and welcome back to KNF Design. If you're new here, my name is Katie and I try to bring a wide variety of different craft projects to you. If you ever have a craft project you would like me to show you how to make or just want to see me try to make it, let me know down below and I'll try my best to bring that to you. If you like today's craft project, make sure to hit those thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me and it helps bring my crafting videos to more crafters like you. Don't forget to also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way you don't miss out on any of our crafting fun. So with that, let's get crafting. For the center of our sunflower here, I'm just using 2 pieces of 9 by 12 felt, and that should make about a 5-inch center, and that should fit our board here, and that'll take us around here. And then I'll have my leaves, and then 1, 2, and 3 rows of petals, and then that will be my center. This was just from Dollar Tree, but I'll show you that a little bit better later. So what we want to do with our felt is just make 3 even strips. So since it's 9 inches, that's about 3 inches. And you can use a ruler or just kind of measure it by folding it evenly along itself. If it's not exact or a little crooked, that's okay. So now that I have my lines, I'm just going to take some scissors and cut those strips, and then I'll do it the same thing for my second piece there. You could also use a rotary cutter if you would like. Now that we have our 9 strips here, I'm going to take one and just fold it in half. And then I'm going to apply glue to that inside area here. Be careful, the glue is hot, so it can get warm through that fabric. And then you're just going to take your scissors, so we glued down at this end, and we're just going to take scissors and cut little slits down. You can make them as big or little as you want. Maybe about 1/2 inch would be a good amount. Yeah, right where I got it. So again, it doesn't have to be exact, just don't cut all the way through where you glued. So I'm going to do that for the rest of these and then we'll come back. So we have all of our pieces here cut, and all we're going to do is apply glue down here to the area that we glued closed. You don't want to put any glue here where we cut because we want it loose and floppy with the motion. And then I'm just going to take a strip of glue, hot glue, put it along that bottom and roll my flower center. And once we get all the way to the end, again applying glue as I go. Just do it quickly here. When we get to the end, I'm then going to take my next strip, overlap the previous one just a little bit, and roll it. And we'll keep rolling until we finish all of our strips there. And there is the center of a flower. The last step is to glue a little bit of a pipe cleaner. It doesn't matter what color, just to the bottom, and that's how we're going to hook it to our wreath form. For the petals, I'm using this decorative mesh. This one I got from JoAnn Fabrics, but you can find them at any craft store. This one is 10 inches, and which is what I like. I'm going to do a 10 inch by 10 inch squares here. You can cut them with scissors, you can use a rotary tool, or if you have a wood burning tool, that would be the best, and that would kind of singe your ends so they don't unravel on you. This end here where we did not cut is called a factory end. So I'm just going to make a diamond with a square here and do the factory end at the top. And I'm just going to bring it over. So we have now a triangle. Since this is the end piece, it's a little crinkly here, so I might not use this piece, but I'll just keep going to show you. I'm just using a clip from Dollar Tree to hold the ends for me. And zoom out a little so you can see this. There we go. So with this shape here, you're just going to, you can do it a couple ways. I'm going to fold my end down and then just kind of crinkle it up and gather all of it at the bottom there. When I get to the end, I'm going to fold that bottom in again. And then that is my petal. And then I'm going to redo this one. You could tie a little band there to hold it and do all your petals, or once it's done, you can put it directly on your board here. So this is the board, and like this is going to be our inside circle. We have a very big outside, and that's where we're going to put the green leaves. So I do have some green, I'll show you in a bit on how to do that. So then the next row in, we're going to do 8 of our petals. And I don't know if you can tell, there's kind of like 2 together, 1 single, 2 together, 1 single. So you just stick your zip tie down 1, go up the other, and then just till it zips. So when you hear that, that's all you need to do. And then when we get a petal, just pretend that's a petal, we'll feed it through and pull it tight. So again, we're gonna have 8 around all of this, and then we'll go into the next row. So again, we'll skip 1 and go down, back up, and place it just to you hear the zip. These are 8-inch zip ties. They're a little heavy duty and way more than I need, but it's what I had on hand. So I'm gonna finish this row here. Alright, so that's what it looks like on the back where we just missed 1 hole, did every other there. So there are 8 petals that are gonna go in these, on this row. For our next row, we're going to use every single hole. This board's a little off. It should be 8 to make it nice and even, but if you count it, it's actually 9. I'm just going to go with it and see how it looks. But again, you just do it the same way as before, but this time we are not skipping one and the one. So now this is our center row, and then our center itself is going to go right in there. And I did my center a little tight, so it's actually only about 4 inches. So maybe don't do quite as tight so it'll fit, but it'll still be good. That'll be the center. And we'll put the pipe cleaners through those holes there and tie it on the back. So after thinking about it, I decided to change and take off one of my inside zip ties here. So I left a gap there and actually one here because I took one of these off and just shifted. That way they lined up in between, so it was a nice offset of everything. So I only had 8 on the outside and 8 on the inside. And then once I do these, then I'll do the center ones after and kind of play around with that. And if it helps, that's what the back looks like. Alright, so now we have to make the petals. So I went ahead and used a wood burning type tool to cut my ends, and that way they also don't unravel on me. So here's like a factory end and the end I cut. And we have a 10 by 10. It's a little hard to see because it's a light yellow, but 10 by 10 square, and we are just going to fold it in half so it's like a triangle. And I like to use a clip just to help hold my center. And then I'm going to take my end, fold it under, and then just kind of pinch it and gather it all up. When we get to the end, just fold it under as well. And so there we have one of our petals. And we will just put it on underneath the zip tie here and tighten it. Leave like a thumb print, in between the zip tie. And then I'll go through and cut all these off. So I finished out my first 2 rows. Again, we did 8 and 8, and then the inside rows, they actually end up lining up well. There's no random missing holes for this, so I'm just gonna keep going, filling them in, kind of offsetting a little if you can, a little difficult. Next row, it'll be an even number as well, so I'll fill those in. I don't know if I'll need this very center one because our center will go there, and I'll probably use those to attach our center that we made there, but just kind of depends how full this looks, if I'll use that very full one. Once we finish all this, I think these outside ones I'll fill in with some of my, we'll make some green leaves and fill those in back there. But I think I'm going to finish this first, and then we'll do that. So I'm going to keep going with this. It's just kind of the same repetition that you've seen, so I'll do that off camera. So I finished my flower, and as you can see, I decided to cover in the centermost layer here, because when I put my center down, it left a little bit of a gap there, so I did have to do the centermost, and I wanted to cover, make it cover a little bit more. I also, here's the back, so you can see what that looks like. So here we skipped some, and we just kind of did no holes shared. When I went to the center, I did decide to share holes here just to get a little bit more coverage. So that's what that did, because I noticed that for some reason I was thinking green zip ties, it's green flowers, it would match well. But you can kind of see them through in certain areas here, and so I would suggest doing clear. But it is what it is, and I think it'll be fine. It's from further away, you don't notice it, and you can kind of move the petals and cover things a little bit, but that's what it is. And sorry, cat. So then I'm just gonna put my center on, and I decided to do the twisty tie, so I'm feeding it through the holes here in the center and then just gonna tie it in the back. You could also just glue it directly on. And that could be your flower if you are done there. It's very beautiful. I did cut some green for some petals. I think I'm going to go ahead and attach those. You can do that same technique we've been doing. Hold it like a triangle and then just kind of turn in and then bunch. And it does look like a nice leaf too. And you could do maybe two. I might go and do that. And then just wherever I decide to put them, I'll do the zip ties and attach them like we have been. I might do two petals and just kind of put them sporadically around. So I did two of my petals and I'm just crimping them together and overlapping them just a little bit. I'm going to stick both of them into one of the zip ties. I put the zip tie in backwards. And then we'll just cut off our zip tie and put our flowers back. And that's how you do the leaf. I'm gonna do maybe three more. So here's what a flower looks like. I ended up doing 4 leaves just to even it out. 3 just seemed a little off. And then that is the back, so you can pause the video and count these if you need to. And then I'm just going to tie some ribbon to hang mine. You can also just use a variety of different stuff. You can put it through like behind the leaf or over here. I think I'm gonna go through the holes on mine. And to help get through the hole, I like to use a pencil, or we can do the zip tie since it's right here. And you just kind of poke it through. And then I can hang a beautiful wreath and it'll look great for this fall. So I'm gonna go hang this on my front door. I hope you enjoyed crafting with me and make maybe a wreath yourself. Let me know and share photos if you do. They are a little time consuming, but they are really pretty when they come out. Also feel free to change up colors for different seasons. You could use burlap instead of the see-through tulle stuff, things like that. I even thought about doing a different pattern of this and just kind of forgot, so I kept it all kind of the same in uniform. But there's lots of options. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.